Hello, my loves. It's Rosalind Fung, Akashic Visibility Business Coach. And I have here today one of my former soulmate clients, Dr. Shanna Scott of Shanna Scott PR and Events. She is a $1 million event strategist who helps 7 and 8 figure entrepreneurs make $1 million or more in their 3 day events. So, kind of a big deal here. Hello, my love. Thank you so much for being here with me. Today, I'm hoping that my audience can learn a little bit about the work that we've done and how I have supported you in creating breakthroughs and the transformation to be where you're at today. So please share with us a little bit more about when this is now back in 2019, and
Yes.
we're recording this in 2023. February. So we are now reconnecting. And my loves, I want you to really hear how the ripple effects of the work that you put in yourself years back and what that can look like for you years forward. So, my love, can you share a little bit more about what were you specifically struggling with? I specifically supported you as in your mindset and more so in your belief in yourself. So, what were some of those challenges that you were experiencing before we worked together?
Oh, yes. And I remember the day that I met you. I was at an event, of course, and you were there, and you just were beaming. You were just so happy, and you spoke. And whenever you got on stage and you spoke, it just really spoke to me, and I knew that that's what I needed at the time. I was on the struggle bus, new entrepreneur in this industry, in the coaching space, very new, didn't know anyone. I think that was like my first few months. And I saw the potential in the room, and I could feel the potential in myself, but it felt like it was all bottled up, and I knew that I needed someone to help me, unleash it all. And of course, I worked with you. I chose you. I just knew that you were the person to support me.
Thank you, my love. Can you be more specific about some of the perhaps like thoughts and beliefs that you were struggling with? And because it sounded like you knew you were on a verge of breakthrough, but what was holding you back?
What was holding me back was pretty much I didn't think that I could do it at the time. I didn't have the level of money that I have now. And I kind of also felt that there again just the caps, and I remember I was dealing with this, what I call the green monster, just those inner thoughts. You remember the green monster? We
Yeah.
were yeah. And just the thoughts of saying, hey girl, you're from the bowels of South Carolina, you need to sit down. Just that negative inner talk, that was the thing that was, I would be in a room, you don't belong here, and just that level of negative talk that I was dealing with. And you definitely helped me work through all of that and really see myself for who I could be.
Beautiful. So you were recognizing you knew you had more potential. You knew you could be showing up more. You could be getting more clients. You could be really believe in yourself deeper to get to your dream vision.
Absolutely. And what we actually worked through was just recognizing my power,
Yeah.
recognizing that, I had the ability to do what I needed to do to get to the next level.
Yeah, so huge. So, were there any, before we talk about some of your results and your takeaways and where you are today, were there any specific obstacles you needed to work through in order to say yes to us working together?
Were there obstacles? There were definitely obstacles. I was on the struggle bus. So again, I remember, us having that conversation, and I knew that you were the mindset coach that I needed. So I did what I had to do to make sure that I got you deposited and we started working together. And the first session, I can't even explain it. It's like, I felt kind of like a balloon that was about to burst.
Mm.
And that very, very first session that we had, I started to feel like there was a release. Like we were just kind of chipping away at all the things that were covering me and holding me back, and just shrinking that what I called in the meeting, referred to as the green giant, because it was those negative thoughts were just yelling, entrepreneurship isn't for me. And because we were indoctrinated to, go, have a career, go to work, and so here this novice idea of starting a business and becoming at that time a six-figure business was so far touch, so
Mhm.
far out of reach, to where, and I've superseded that since then, where I'm
Oh,
beyond.
yes, you have. So
Yeah,
let's talk about just like in our work together, you increase your self-belief, you increase your confidence. What else has transpired? And feel free to share, like, holy, you just had a huge win.
I had a huge, well, when I met you, I was falling apart
Yeah.
limb by limb. I had, I was losing my apartment. Let me be clear. The guy that I was dating, we had broken up. Remember that whole
Yes,
saga?
that's right.
Yeah. And that was I mean, it seemed like everything was just falling off of me.
Mm.
And you helped me to get my power back and know that I could rebuild.
Mhm.
And once that process happened, because it was a process, I don't want anyone to think that, one
Correct.
session we were in and then the next session is like, okay, happily ever after. No, it was definitely what I'd like to call, and I believe you call, like a purification process, where you just get everything, wiped from you. And once that happened,
Mhm.
it was wild. It was wild. I made my first six figures, and like, how far after? Maybe a few months after that, because we
Wow.
went in the pandemic, and then now I'm at multiple six figure, and this year we're on track to make our first seven figures.
Oh, woo, woo. Like that is huge. And just to speak about, how you're showing up in the world and you're commanding now, you believe in yourself and what you're doing, and really like being able to feel and have that confidence to put yourself out there to manifest these kind of results. That's so huge. I'm so
Absolutely.
proud of you.
It, thank you, thank you, and I'm telling you, saved my life. And there were instances where I couldn't pay my bills, my household bills. That's just how I believed in you and made sure that I made the investment in myself,
Thank you.
and getting these, the limits lifted,
Yes.
and being able to get here now, because back then a 50 or $100 bill was tremendous, and now I'm like, oh, that's it.
Can I
No.
reframe something? Because I really believe that you believed in yourself first. Like, even though you were on the struggle bus, on some level, you had to believe in yourself enough to trust yourself to then trust me to guide you and be part of your journey to support you, because ultimately you actually saved you. Right?
Oh,
I'm holding the space, but really you
yes.
had to say yes first. And that was my question around the obstacles, like because you were struggling, right? You were like, oh gosh, I don't know if I can pay my bills. And you looked at your finances, we worked on something out so that it was like, okay, those barriers were removed, and then you could say yes and move forward. And like it's been so incredible to see you rise and grow in years after like where you're at now. So thank you, Dr. Shauna. And
You're welcome. Thank you.
what would you say if people were like, should I work with Roz?
What I would say is work with Roz. And I will say that because, again, in order to move forward, you are going to need the support, because the negative thoughts that you'll possibly have about yourself, you would need those lifted. And then the meditations that you gave, that was very, very supportive. And I mean, and I remember that was like one of the first time I was introduced to meditation, and that was so, so
Mhm.
supportive. So if you are thinking whether or not to work with Roz, I'm going to say work with Roz, because I assure you, when I went in, I was not a six-figure, I was not a five-figure business.
Wow.
I was not a four-figure business. And now I'm on track to make seven figures in 2023. Okay. I
That
had
is
an
so
amazing month, and I told you how much I made this month right
yes.
here.
Yes.
Amazing. So
Mhm.
absolutely, definitely. And I'm taking it to the next level. So we're actually in conversation about what working with you again is going to look like as a seven-figure business owner. Exactly, exactly. So I'm just saying, trust in yourself to get the support that you need.
Thank you, my love. And of course, I want to put a caveat that's those of you who are watching, if you feel aligned, that's an important piece. Let's get on a call and we can definitely look at how that can look like for me to support you in your life, in your mindsets, in your business, so that you can really become more bold and unapologetic and more visible and monetize on your calling. So thank you so much, Dr. Shauna. I'm so
You're
appreciative of
welcome.
your love.
Yes, thank you.